establish in another community somewhere. That's what you'll be doing.
You
You'll
the
be
dog bark.
Get in the bed, go get in the bed.
mayor of Freedom Town.
Hell
Yeah, he'll be Freedom Town. He'll escape and he'll go have us somewhere to go when you do escape. That's what he on.
Have you ever seen
That nigga
Lovecraft Country?
Be tore up.
Did you?
I really loved Lovecraft Country while it was on.
Yes, but I could see like y'all in that, you especially you and Kenya in that
era.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I can see that.
I feel that.
And
I
you
don't
too,
know why
because you was kind of.
Because it's one of them shows that was giving too much information, activating
Yeah,
folks, reminding
man.
folks.
That white people want to be black.
Yeah, it was beautiful, man.
Yeah.
It was. I wish they'd bring
My
it back.
chick,
And the other
my
show
chick.
where the police officers was really superheroes.
How you wanna do it? You ain't really built like that. Shooter like KD coming off the hip like that. Smoking that loud. This that pump up the volume. Lighting up a spliff like that. In the street spinning them. These niggas sweet like cinnamon. Same rap nigga, you a synonym. If a nigga want that smoke, tell him he can bring 10 of them. We'll shoot 5 at minimum. Big footprint, I'ma step like Sasquatch. Bitch, I'm full of fire like a matchbox. A lot of y'all hoes really lose.
What up?
What it do? What's happening?
You already know it's your boy Nardo, Blacktastic.
It's your boy Dubb.
And we are the productive procrastinators. If you're not being productive, you probably procrastinate.
And if your ass ain't procrastinating,
Yes, it's hating.
Damn sure hating.
facts.
Hating like a mom.
You heard our poetry?
Let me hear y'all.
That was he right there. That was our little son right there.
I signed it. Yeah,
Say it again so I can finger snap. If you ain't,
Okay.
you can do it again.
We are the productive procrastinators. If you're not being if you're not being productive, you probably procrastinating.
And if your ass ain't procrastinating,
Yes, it's hating.
That's a group poem. Finger snap. Y'all did a group poem.
And then we try and get our poetry snaps because we have here today the lovely goddess.
Oh.
Huh? That's how we gonna do it today.
that's how we gonna do it, dog. That's how we gonna do it.
What is it when you're a female poet? Is it poet?
Well, you
A
know,
poetess?
some people do that, but I like to remain gender free as an artist.
Look how she coming.
Because I don't like to be restricted by gender when it comes to art.
So we just gonna say the poet? What are we gonna say? Entertainment, culturalist.
Mm-hmm.
Book of Eli with the culture for y'all.
Right.
Yeah.
We already said she was gonna be one of the ones.
Trailblazer.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you.
That's the word.
And poetry. In
I
Jackson,
consider
Mississippi,
myself
for sure.
a master collaborator, a culture
I
keeper,
was on that culture
You
keeper.
really say that.
a mother.
Mother Earth with it. Come on.
Thank you. And a creator. Just a creator.
What up, good people?
What it do?
It's your boy Nardo Blacktastic, and I got my homie.
Dubb.
And you already know we are the productive procrastinators, and what you didn't know was, well, we done got a new sponsor.
You see it?
Can't lie to you, I'm happy for this one. We got Pizza Shack, no slack. 2 locations, the one in Jackson and Pearl.
Let me shoot
Talk to
them.
him.
I got you, dog. Jackson, Mississippi, 925 East Fortification Street, 601-352-2001. And the Pearl location, 3040 Highway 80 East, Suite A, 601-203-2986.
So you already know what that mean. That thing right there on Highway 80, so you can get in and get out of Pearl if that ain't your world. Now, let's get to these delicatessens right here.
Man.
We got this carnivore piece over here for you meat lovers. No diddy. We got this Philly steak and cheese sub. I ain't even know they had them right there. I'm trying to get this out for a nigga stomach start growling. And we got the 39.55 wing, courtesy of my boy.
Say that again.
39.55.
Okay. That's all I want to
I
know.
don't know what he put on them, but the boy ain't played with the seasoning. If you ain't got no sauce, you already know you lost. Now talk to him about these ingredients.
Bruh,
'cause I
listen.
heard they were fresh in every bite.
Every bite, there are fresh ingredients. But, you know, they don't just specialize in pizza. They got the sandwiches. Look, favorite sandwiches, dog. Philly cheesesteak, as we have here.
Talk to him.
Meatball, turkey melt, Italian sub. Specialty pieces. Like I said, just don't have the meat lovers. We got spinach Alfredo, chicken Alfredo, and shrimp Alfredo. That's just the name of a few.
I like how you were doing that. You were dropping them names out there like spades. So
Hey.
you already know, y'all. I'm going to tell you right now. We're going to have to go and get this through because my stomach about to start
Please.
growling right now. We ready to tear into
Man.
it. So make sure you tap in with Pizza Shack. Both locations, Jackson and Pearl. Get it in your life, man. Pizza Shack.
Check them out.
And I'm a believer. I believe.
And all those vibes.
And you gonna
Give
believe if you talk to
That's what I just love to say it.
Amanda Furdge.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, yes.
Thank you,
yes,
thank you,
yes,
thank you.
yes.
Finger claps and
Y'all don't know. I don't
Finger
know if you
snaps
can
and
see it, if you can
hand
feel it through the camera. I'm gonna say it again because Kenyon big back the camera.
shout
I don't
out
know
to
if you can
Kenyon.
feel it through the camera.
Shout out to him.
I know you got us right. I know you got us right. You know I will. Appreciate that.
Ooh,
Okay, yeah. You know I will hit the button.
let me hit the button one time while I'm here too.
But yeah, I don't know if y'all can feel it through the camera. She got that spirit about herself, that aura.
Yes.
Man. She gonna make you feel positive. You know what I'm saying? It might mess around you, feel sexy. It just depends
You
on
know-
what
Had me blushing.
I'm just here to
I ain't
remind
know
you
that.
of who you really are.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to remind you.
Ain't
of
gonna
who
have
are.
you feel black and light strong. Really gonna make, you know what? When I leave from out of here, I'm finna go put my feet on the ground.
Go ahead.
We finna put my feet on the earth when
Eat
I
some
leave. That's how
grass.
we, yeah, come on.
Eat some
Yeah.
grass.
That's how you got me fit.
Yeah, I love
We've been
that.
talking that talk.
Oh, I loved it.
We done went
Thank y'all
back
for
to Egypt
having
with
Yes. Thank you for coming,
Thank
Amanda.
y'all.
Yes.
So special.
So before we started the show, I was asking you, like, cause I said I want to save it, cause I've been knowing you
we
so
tried.
long.
Yeah.
We've been around each other. I really enjoy what you do. I ain't gonna lie, if it wasn't for you and a few more poets here, I wouldn't know shit about poetry. You know, the only thing I know is the Def Jam
Poetry
poet.
Jam.
Yeah.
So I related kind of to rap a little
Yeah.
bit. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
With bars.
since then, you know, at the workout room and stuff like that, I done got to hear different kinds of poetry. You know what I'm saying, and stuff that damn near make you feel black and strong. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
how long you been doing that? Let me say that first.
Well, first of all, I want to let you know that you have been digesting poetry all your life, because poetry is in everything,
Motion.
right? So you know more about poetry than you could ever
Yeah, she do
know.
what y'all-
because
the
it's just
clothes
true.
on the fence, on the
Every-
clothesline, them
everything
clothes
is
blowing in the
poetry.
wind.
Yes.
Everything is poetry. Everything is poetry. So, you know, I could read that poster and make it sound like spoken word.
Yeah.
Let me see something. So if somebody come in the house smelling like outside, that's poetry.
It is. Because look at what it reminded you. Look at how it activates
Outside,
you.
yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Onions.
All of that. I don't know. Now, was they in the onion factory? When people
Well,
come out,
yeah, the onion factory.
Well-
And then don't sit in front of the TV. Your mom
Made out of
work at the
glass.
glass factory.
Yeah.
That's poetry.
see, poetry. So I just
Oh,
want to say
yeah.
that. Everything is poetry.
You
Okay,
know
so-
what? Yeah.
It's true. See, now you've
You've been a
listening.
poet all your life, and I've been listening to poetry all my
That's
life.
right, which means you've been a poet all your life, too. Your poetry is just comedy.
I was a poet, and I didn't know it.
Hey, that's my favorite one.
Come on, man.
That's my favorite one. I have been a poet the whole time, but the first time I remember performing what we consider spoken word poetry is in 6th grade at a middle school program. I had written a poem. I excelled at poetry, you know.
Back then?
Yeah, your English teacher back in the day. I'm born in 1988, so I'm 37. So I come up when teachers were teaching. Not to say teachers not teaching
Nah,
today.
I'm with you.
But there was a
came up-
different
yeah,
style.
you came
You know,
up-
I
you
came
came up in
up-
I
that
think I
era.
was telling you. I had real teachers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
had
you
real
know,
librarians gonna teach her about the Dewey Decimal
Yep.
System. You gonna
Yeah.
know how to
okay,
go
you know what
through-
I'm saying?
yeah.
And that's no disregard for what's happening now. I can just only speak to the era that raised me, and we know that culture was different
Way
at that
different.
time period. So these were older women who were raised by black folks who only had books and only had a consciousness of speaking and being a certain way, and that's what they gave to us as black children. So my English teachers were always usually older black women. My grandma's an English teacher. She taught everybody English in the Mississippi Delta.
You enunciate
Hold
like
on.
somebody had a.
So hold on.
You enunciate like somebody had a teacher in your family, and there we go. Where you? So where?
What part of the Delta you from?
Because I've been knowing you this whole time.
Okay,
didn't know.
pivot a little bit. I was born in Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay.
I think it was called Jackson Hines or Jackson General or something back in the day. But now it's
What
called CMMC. What's that
Okay,
hospital
then
out there?
CMMC?
South?
Yeah,
Is that what it's called out south? Kind of that one.
Yeah.
They done changed a bunch of names.
Okay.
Yeah,
Methodist.
it probably
Was it
mirrored.
Methodist?
Yeah,
That's it,
Okay.
Yeah, CDC.
Then what's that CDC?
That's
So
okay,
you
but
get
I
your
know what you're talking
haircut
about.
where you was born in too. You can
That's
teach
where
how to
I
cook.
was.
just
That's where I
playing.
was born, but I was raised in the Mississippi Delta, primarily in Clarksdale. Look at y'all. Why y'all?
Man,
From
that's
there in
around the
Clarksdale.
corner from Greenfield.
Exactly, and Yazoo City. Clarksdale and Yazoo City.
See, man.
Clarksdale.
That's where you went to school as well?
Well, I came through Jackson Public Schools.
Oh, this is crazy.
Yes, but the weekends
You was
and my
always in
upbringing up till 5, 6 years old, I was in Clarksdale and Yazoo City. Clarksdale, Mississippi raised me. Yazoo City
And the
raised
good
me.
old-
City of
88,
Jackson,
what's
Mississippi raised
Clarksdale,
me.
Mississippi like in 1988? Because I know a can Mississippi like.
Well, in 1988, it's you outside playing.
Oh, man.
You share some
the
peas?
best
You
times.
Oh, yes.
You share some peas?
We share
You shuck some
peas.
Shuck some corn.
We caught fish and scaled them in the sink.
Okay.
Our fishing poles. my
Everybody,
grandma-
I know people in Jackson who
Brims.
like born in 88 ain't did none of that.
We
Like,
picked greens. I mean, it just
Yeah.
depends on who was raising you. And I was raised, my great grandmothers was still alive.
Yeah,
So-
the real grandmamas.
You know what I mean? This is one generation removed from sharecropping. Still, you know what I mean?
Real.
Sharecropping,
For real.
slavery. Like, you know what I mean? My
I don't
great.
want to age myself. I think my mom said she picked cotton, not like to slavery, but like sharecropping. They got
Yes.
paid. Her and her brother and them. That was some of their
Absolutely.
first job. They picked cotton.
My great grandfather was a slave.
At the same
owner.
time, with other people, mamas probably was like, they probably was like in gangs or
Great,
starting
yeah.
gangs. Mine was picking cotton. You said, yo, who?
My great grandfather was a slave owner.
So that was, see, young Dolph said that and folks thought he was tripping.
This,
It
ain't that
it's
far from
not.
that
It's
here.
It was a
not.
lot of
It
them,
ain't that
though. It
far
was a
from
lot back
Mississippi.
then.
Not that far.
Yeah.
You know, we're not that far removed. But I said that to say I am the Jackson Public Schools educated me. Shout out to Jackson Public Schools. No
JPS,
matter what
yes.
state of
So
being it's
culture,
in
that's
right
why you're
now.
the coach
Yeah, that's
keeper.
Jackson
exactly.
Public
That's it.
Schools.
You've been around.
And I didn't say
the state.
taught. I said educated me. Jackson Public
You're
Schools
right.
educated me. But the Mississippi Delta raised me. And so
You had the best of both worlds.
Yes, indeed. So to pivot back to your question, I come up in the church as well, and you know the church is the theater for Black culture. You know,
That's how you saw it.
For sure.
so that's how I
Facts.
come from multi-generational preachers and pastors. I'm a preacher kid, pastor kid, multi-generational.
That
You was finna speak. You been a little preacher. You was preaching when you were little.
It's a little preacher.
On Saturday morning, I'm doing the moon. I'm moonwalking in the kitchen. I got on Penelope. You preaching. You in there preaching.
But you know what? I was a regular kid though. I mean, I'm still a kid. I'm just now I can speak to the context that raised me because I can see it.
Right.
But as a
It
kid,
was
I'm just a
needed.
kid. I was tomboy. My grandma's fought me about straightening my hair with the straightening comb. That's why my hair could.
we
If
just
y'all
got
want
through
to get
talking
into
about
that.
hooping with you.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I played outside. I played outside, played rough, catching frogs, putting them in the freezer, throwing them like a rock.
You
That's
grew
not
up.
right, but
You grew up
I-
in them times.
I grew up playing. We didn't. Oh, so back to what you asked. My grandma, granddaddy didn't have TVs. We had books. We
Encyclopedias.
Yeah, we had encyclopedias.
Oh,
we
we had
had
them
books.
them brown and tan,
Damn right.
man.
My granddaddy
Inside.
had the motherfucking
We
same-
had
I'm finna
books.
tell you every animal in it.
You know what I'm
Every
saying?
dog
All the
breed.
dogs, oh shit. Yeah.
We had books and we had each other. And so just being raised like that, you got each other, you got books, and then you got community. And so I always gravitated. I was always with the older folks. I'm an older folks girl. I always
Old
loved
soul.
being up under the old people. They used to tell me, you need to go outside. But I'm a middle child as well. So I'm wedged between. I come from a big family, but I'm in the middle. So everybody was either older than me or younger than me. So that put me in a kind of big little sister kind of position to
Yeah.
the younger. I'm the oldest of 21 grandchildren.
Oh, they was getting too.
The oldest girl.
I
of
thought I had
21
like-
we done had that-
grandchildren.
But I got about 17 cousins and stuff like immediate.
I know I can count about.
I
between
thought
12
they
and
had a
15.
TV when I came along, but at some point they didn't have no TV. 'cause
And
they
you
was
know,
getting-
and even at
they was
that, what was
getting to
on
it.
TV in the Delta, you know, you had to get
make
satellite.
you oh.
If you
Yeah.
was gonna, you would have had to get satellite.
I ain't know. I'm trying to think about all these children.
To make
I was
you
like,
horny.
watching Andy
Did you
Griffith
say
show
that?
would make you horny. So they were getting to it.
But you know, like you said, in the Delta, you was outside in the Delta. You fished.
Yes.
You played outside. You did all that outside. Rode your. I ain't seen not one kid ride a bike since I've had my child. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's been about my daughter's 14,
Okay.
and like, I don't see kids riding bikes no more.
They hoverboard like a motherfucker.
They-
I don't even think they do that.
And
They
some
walking.
kids-
They walking with them phones in their hand
But
like
see,
this. now.
on my side, some kids riding bikes
Yeah.
still, though. And they definitely stealing go cars. But you know, when I think about it, all the crackheads probably stole all the bikes though. So.
Yeah.
That's probably why they haven't got no bikes
That's
on
where the
my
penny
side.
came in.
Because they be riding bikes.
Yeah, that's where the penny came
Crackheads getting their
in.
cardio in.
Right.
You know,
Kid probably ain't tripping there on the game, but you know, I think it's some still. Just you're right. It is getting less in the outside stuff, but
yeah, but
That's
to, you
some good
know,
old days.
I take somebody on a road trip on a scenic route. But to answer your question, yes, I was in sixth. I was in sixth grade, and whenever the poetry unit would come up in our classrooms, I would just write, and the teacher would notice that I excelled at that style of writing. And she would, you know, back in the day, your teachers would put you on the program.
So would.
We used to have
So
assemblies
would.
and they would put you on the program. And so she put me on the program. And I think this was probably sixth grade. Well, we used to graduate. We used to get promoted
that
from
little sixth
fifth
grade
grade to sixth
graduation.
Right,
grade to eighth grade to ninth grade.
Yep.
And they put me on the program. And when I was getting ready when I was saying the poem that I wrote, I didn't need the paper for it. I just knew it. You know what I'm saying? And
you
so
wrote that from the heart.
I just ended up saying it, and the way that I said it, I'm you know, and they just know it's like, oh, this is different. Now, this was before I had a consciousness of spoken word or any of that. You know, we here in the South, we ain't up on HBO deaf poetry or
None of
nothing
that.
like that. You know what I'm saying? Especially
Right,
not at
right.
that time. So it was just the way that I had been raised to speak and just know and do Easter speeches or whatever. And these was my peers. I can say this now looking back, I always just been able to relate. And if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it from a space of comfort. So however it shows up, it's just it plays into how it's received. But when I did that poem that way, it was just like, oh my gosh, wow. And from then on, everybody was like, oh, we need
You
a
was
poem.
continuing to do poem from that moment on, or you like when you got older?
Well,
you
when
was
they
like,
would put
you
me
know
on a
what?
program, I would speak, but I would write. I was writing all the time. And back in the day, we appreciated writing in a different way than we do now. So we would write letters. People would have me people would ask me to write them letters to their girlfriends or boyfriends. Write me a poem
On
for
my
this.
mama, we gonna
Write
write
me-
it, and we gonna
you know what I'm
fold it,
saying?
bring that-
Fold
I'm
it
about to
up.
write my own letter because I can write letters,
Yeah.
but I need you to fold it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I'm
The
gonna
special kind of way.
hit you with your curves when you get through with it. Bam, bam.
Yep.
But yeah, so just always or just having work and being able to write and share my writing in that way. And then by the time I was in high school, I had really developed a love for poetry to where, it's all of my writings have always been self-expression, just ways for me to express myself. And I grew up in here with my parents versus there with my grandparents was different because we grew up in poverty here in Jackson. I had young parents at the time, and I had siblings, and we was living 7 people in the house, 2 bedrooms. We paying for field trips with pennies, you know what I'm saying? Like this mode.
These two can get up on the field trip this time, and the next time, them two
You know what I'm saying? So that is the way that I was raised in Brown Bottom. I come up in Brown Bottom. Okay, yeah. So I was raised in Brown Bottom.
Okay.
And so I had, needing a way to express myself that could not be controlled because I was also a preacher's kid, right? So there's not a lot that you get to enjoy as a preacher's kid, depending on the culture because of how somebody might be interpreting religion.
Right.
That's different from spirituality. But so the way that my parents were interpreting religion really restricted me in so many ways because they were not able to accept the way that I expressed myself because it was in conflict with what religion
Of course.
was saying.
At
that
what
I
age
should
did
be.
it seem like there was a conflict?
Well, the whole time.
Even from 6th grade,
was
you already was different. You spoke. You was talking about black stuff in your speech?
Well, what I'm speaking
I
to.
know you get but you make our speeches for just a soul and everything. So I ain't gonna act like it's just all Malcolm X, but I appreciate
Yeah, but I
all
just
of it.
mean, thank you. I'm speaking to more of like, in in Black culture, there was a time where you're not supposed to say that. That's house business. That's family business. So if I'm writing a poem about what I'm experiencing and I'm experiencing sexual abuse or trauma or the ways that what's going on or poverty or, you know what I mean? If I'm just speaking to my experience, you're not supposed to
tell them
that's forbidden topics.
You ain't supposed to be talking like that. I experienced that today with my mom. Like, I'm not coming to your show. I don't know what you might say. That's real. You know what I'm saying? But it's no shade. I love my mom, no disrespect, but I understand it because they were raised at a time where you had to shut your mouth.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a little surprising because, you know, you have enduring with your poetry. It's endearing. You feel me?
Thank you.
You are spiritual with it. So, you know, that's a little surprising to me because it's very inviting. You know, it's very uplifting.
Thank you.
If it was something that did start with anything or say something where someone was down, you know, trying or whatever, you uplifted it in power.
Thank
so
you.
I you know, that for me to hear that.
Thank you. Well,
I didn't expect it.
Thank you. It's important for me to distinguish religion from spirituality because they are two different ways of being.
You think growing up a PK preacher's kid has anything to do with you feeling?
Absolutely, yes. 1 million. I would never deny that growing up a preacher's kid informs my whole being, from the way that I saw it being done wrong to the way that I now show up doing it right. Right?
Yeah.
So
I think I know what you're talking about. Do you feel like elaborating on when you say doing it wrong and doing it right? Or, you know?
So, you know,
I feel like
wrong
you
and right is subjective too.
But you stand on what you're saying. I feel like you're very intentful and thoughtful with what you say. So I think if you feel like speaking on it.
So to that point, I would say I could be writing poetry that is condemning, that is selfish, that is narrow. You know, I could be writing poetry for one audience, for one purpose, very egotistical, very damning, very, you know, but I choose.
That will probably make you go viral on, you know, how,
exactly.
you know,
perhaps
thinking about how things are right now.
But I choose to write from a space of honesty and authenticity, which means that I'm writing as a human being, which means that I am experiencing the human condition and I am willing to share my experiences with the human condition and welcome other people's experiences and comments and commentary about the human condition. So that is me saying I've had abortions. Yes, I'm a preacher's kid. Yes, I'm a mom. Yes, I'm from the South. Yes, I go to church. Yes, I love people. But I've had abortions.
It's truthful, but it's everything they put their little.
Exactly,
I'm a
right?
human.
And it's important for me.
They don't like to deal with that part. It's just the words. See, if you're dealing with words, they hit them a certain way.
That's right.
But you know, you got to listen to the whole thing.
That's right. And it's important for me to say it because I am a person who people like to use for whatever their objective is. Right. And the way that I reclaim myself is to be authentic. So I can be a picture of grace and gratefulness and scripture. But I am that no matter what part of the scripture you're trying to,
right,
you know, what you see. So you might be, I've been in so many conversations where people are damning women to hell for choosing themselves or choosing to terminate pregnancies because they don't know. And then I say, well, I've had abortions. And then the whole room is like, what? Now we got to change our whole idea or concept because now what? You know what I mean?
They look at you a certain way just from how you
what they see.
Exactly.
But I'm going to be honest with you.
That's just an example of one thing, but I have many aspects of myself that could be in direct conflict with what religion says or how people experience religion versus spirituality, which says I'm a spirit in a human body. Right? I'm a human being and I'm here just like everybody else figuring it out. And primarily God loves me. Period.
And that's all
that's
that
the
matters.
main thing. You know what I'm saying? So,
and nobody's perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
well, we all perfect. God made us perfect.
But you know,
but God loves me.
perfect.
That's the main thing is God loves me. And people like to weaponize God.
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah.
That's
People love to weaponize
Every day.
God.
And that's an inherited mindset. They come from something else too. They learned it from something else, I feel like.
Yeah.
You know.
And God is not a weapon.
No.
And so we have to show up in our God bodies, in our God selves, and say, hey, I'm God too.
You know what it is? Because whatever it is that
It's a
whenever
big God, but we got a little God.
I guess whenever the word was changed,
I'm with you. I'm
You know
with
what I'm
you.
saying?
man, it make people want, like you get scared of God, and it help. I don't know if it helped, but it make people feel like they got the power to judge. I think that's where
Yes.
judgment and stuff come from.
Absolutely.
I
That's
don't
why you
really
got
know.
to show up, because God made all of us exactly the way that we are. No matter what, you cannot avoid
This is
that
who we
God
are.
made you and
finna
how
do it.
you
She
are.
got
I
that
mean,
spirit.
you know what I'm saying?
She really gonna make you
like
feel
what
way
organ?
more
You got
powerful.
no organ. You got no organ button.
Right.
What do we got? I got this.
Don't step out of bed.
That's our organ.
But the fact of the matter is, and we talked earlier before the show about the idea of control and how your mindset is weaponized against you because somebody wants to control your way of being, your way of thinking. But if you know that you were made by a creator, you were made by the supreme creator, right? You were made by the supreme creator who makes no mistakes. No mistakes. Then you are exactly
what
who
you're
you're
supposed
supposed
to
to
be,
be,
how
what
you're
you're supposed to be.
Yeah. All
Now,
of it.
your work is to find out from your creator, what did you create me for?
My purpose.
What is my purpose?
I'm gonna tell you something else though. I heard some of your works that just what you saying
It's
it.
real. It's real.
Your poetry, some of the stuff that I've seen online, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's actual from works or just something you do to, share something with people. But I've heard you say some stuff that, like, it's so free that it made me look like, okay, I might have fucked up that time on stage, but the folks still love me. I'm still finna come hard.
Yeah.
Like, you'll have power in you don't even look at it like a loss. You look at it like a lesson,
A
which
learned
I already
lesson.
know.
Mm-hmm.
I already know that anyway. But it's the way. It don't even be about me though. It be about the shit you experience. It's the poetry, the poem that you doing for yourself, like you just said about abortion. Not that that's the main thing, but it talk about faults.
Yeah.
And you or even in love. I think I heard you say something about love and it ain't going right and you gonna love again. Something
Absolutely.
like that.
Yes. But you have to.
You know when niggas get hurt, they like, fuck that.
You know
I
what
be
I'm
fucked
saying?
up. I'm finna fuck out.
I'm finna- yep, yep.
I'm just saying.
Bruh.
You have to know.
That's-
Is it real? Am I being honest?
You
Is
being
it-
honest.
You have to
Being
know
honest.
that you are in control of you. Once you know that you are in control, God is in control, is in ultimate control, and God gives you the grace to be in control of yourself in this space. Okay, bars or none.
Come on, man. To blow.
So in that, you decide how you want to live through, how you want to work through this life, right? And you decide on if you want to live from a lower self space, which is restricting or restrictive space, or you decide on,
Your
know what,
full
I got
potential.
all this life,
Regardless,
and I got
right.
all this. Let me go with it. You know what I mean? And
Regardless,
that's,
I'm gonna choose the energy that.
and that's
I
what
stay
you
like
got to
that,
do.
though.
And you got to know that you are the expert on, you are the only you, the expert on you. So how you show up, what you do, and how you do it, that's on you. But if you don't do it, then somebody else cannot get their message. And that is my work, to be me as pure as I can so you
Yeah,
can
my
get your
head.
message.
She doing it.
So people can get their messages. If you don't show up vulnerable, it's 10 people up in here who then had their heart broken. If I'm only talking about flowers and sunshine and bees, then I'm not doing my job, because that's not real. My heart get broke too.
Give them the real.
You know what I mean? So just keeping it real in a way where people can see themselves and experience themselves, because that's what makes art. That's what makes us community. You know what I'm saying?
they can learn from
It's
your-
not, It's not until your mom said, until you come home from school and you sad because you wrote the girl a letter and you said, "Do you like me? Yes or no?" And she wrote, "Hell no." And you come home from school and you down and they trying to figure out what's
Your
going
My
on,
mama
what's going
tough. I
on.
could not tell my mama that shit,
Okay,
boy.
but listen though.
Ooh,
So
she gonna-
yeah.
finally at
She
the
gonna
end of the
flame me up.
night, you laying in the bed and you just can't hold it no more. And you say, "Man, this happened to me." And your parent or whoever it is relates to you by telling you about a time this same thing happened to them. That's different from, "Oh man, that's messed up. Good night." That's different from that happens.
Oh, you're
Good
right.
night.
You'll get over it.
You'll get, you know what I mean? It is a moment to connect and
Right.
even for yourself to see how you don't know how much you've grown until you are in a situation where you have to share your growth. You know what I'm saying? And my art, every time I
doing it,
get
man. She
every
doing
time I get an opportunity, I'm here to say, this is how I'm growing. And if anybody needs some support or whatever I can offer
tidbits.
from it, take this. You know what I'm saying? But it's because people I love share their
It
growth
be with
with
love,
me.
though. Your
It's
stuff be
always
with
with
love.
love.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? So yeah, did I answer the question? I started doing poetry.
Nah,
on
you
stage.
listen, you had me in a
Okay, so check this
In a
out.
tizzy.
right. I'm over here like,
So
damn.
as I'm hearing you, I'm sure it's a bunch of stuff that inspires you
Yeah,
to make art.
yeah.
What's like the one that just where do it mostly come from? If you
My
can say.
probably number one inspiration is telling the truth.
By any situation?
Telling the truth. Yes, telling the truth
Yeah, my
is
comment
my
come.
number one inspiration. This is the truth. This is what really happened. This is how it can. This is the truth.
Well, what'll make you? They like, hold up, I got it. Like, what be the movement where is that make you say, hold up, I'm finna have to go on right about this? Is it traumatic? Is it happy with like, you can't?
It's
It
just
is
the
whatever
truth.
the truth of whatever that moment is. How it resonates, whatever the instance is, the truth of that makes me say, oh, let me write this down right quick. So if I'm in a situation where, you know, I'm experiencing ultimate joy, the truth of that moment is so enveloping that
It already
I gotta
gave you some
capture.
words.
Yeah, I gotta capture this. You know what I mean? Or if I'm experiencing severe, if it's so painful, the truth of that makes me pick up my pen and say, "Oh, I gotta get this down. I gotta get this out of me." So it's the truth of something that really, really activates me, because when I was little, I knew the truth and I would say the truth and I would get popped in
I was
my
gonna
mouth.
say, yeah, you probably one of the ones getting popped all the time when you're mental.
And it wasn't
No, I
because
stayed
I
with
was malicious with
Nah,
the
you
truth.
just spoke out of
but
turn.
you know-
You said the real shit. You might want the kids like,
That's how kids is today.
You know they
That's
be like,
exactly how they. I was just gonna say.
my mama hair
tell
sit
your
on the
ass.
thing at the house. What? You know they do it at the wrong time.
Because the truth,
you
the
know better
truth
than
to
that.
me
Oh, I
is
kept-
not
yeah,
embarrassing.
pop mine.
Yeah.
And in our culture, you know, because I can only
That's
speak
how
to
I am.
our culture
What?
So
because
that's why I
I'm
can
not of
joke
any other
about
culture.
what-
The truth
It don't be
is
embarrassing.
not embarrassing, but in our culture,
It is.
truth has been weaponized against. All of these things have been weaponized.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth, you people will give you truth like. You can't say that because of this, and when you get to the root of it, the whatever the this is because you
lied.
ashamed or
Yeah.
you know it's something. And the truth for me is not because you can't weaponize what I'm using as a tool. Like if it's a tool for me, so
That's
you
how I
can't
do it.
weaponize
The
it.
truth is, you don't want to say it, but somebody had a booger in their nose, right? But it's the truth. I
It's
seen
the
the booger.
truth, and
shit.
it's just
Where you think that
like,
come from, Amanda? Like,
I think that it comes.
like, why do people think that? You know what I'm saying?
It's human nature. It's
They
human
can't say
nature
what.
because
No, you just can't say. Like, I ain't gonna say where it come from, but I just want to know how did that come to pass that you can't say what the truth is? Like you said, you used to say
But you like you can't call somebody musty.
right, or you say
Somebody
or
must-
somebody like.
That's what I'm saying about the boogers. Say what?
I think it depends on what that particular.
Don't
Like
nobody
the little-
want to be the musty person though, but you know you be like, you know what? I was outside.
But like the
all
little
time.
meme where the little
Right.
boy in the church screamed, "This church is loud," and the mama pop him in the mouth. He
Yeah.
probably figured the church was loud. Why would he get popped in the
well, let me
mouth?
tell you something that I have come to know to be
Maybe
true.
because he spoke out of turn.
True. That's all right. You know, in the beginning, when Eve ate the fruit and God said, and you know, God was trying to figure out hey, where y'all at? And they was like, over here. And then God was like, what y'all been doing? Now read your whole Bible, it's in there. And the way I give it to you is the way you know what I mean?
Right.
So
It could be
and
interpreted.
God-
I see that though. I
I
see
know
what
you
I'm
going.
saying?
I know where you going.
And
Exactly,
God is
me
like,
too.
what y'all been doing? And they like, who's asking? You know what I mean?
They been in the bush.
That's human nature. That comes from the fall. That comes from the fall of humanity being manipulated by the enemy. We talked about that earlier, by the opposing force to your true identity. That comes from the fall. So you can use that as an example. You can use the first murder. You can use Cain killing Abel, and God saying,
Still the
"Where
same
is
story, though. It's the
where is your
opposing
brother?"
force.
And he's saying, "I don't know." That's the same thing. It's you can just go down the line
It's
of
just
sin.
in-
It's just in nature from the
yeah,
fall. It
okay.
all happens at the fall. Before the fall,
I'm saying, I think. Well, I don't know. Are you speaking in terms of people lying, or are you speaking in terms of people getting offended by what this is?
well, I'm just
This could be a
speaking of,
little
like,
bit of both.
You know,
I
because
think, but that's kind of like we speak like in terms of racism or racist terms. Some of this shit truth come from a place of truth, though, right? Like, is it really racist? Like, when does it become racist to say this, or is it? See, my thought of racism be like, we can't get this money for certain shit.
well, the truth is the
Colorism or
truth, no matter what subject matter we're experiencing and under. The truth is the truth. Now, how people experience and interpret and use the truth is where we start to get subjective and get into the
Offenses,
details.
yeah.
But the truth is the truth is the truth, and the truth is the truth,
And
right?
people have their own
And people
renditions
got
of the
their
truth.
own versions of the truth, but
Sure, right.
a fact is a fact.
It's some
right?
truth in there somewhere.
So when we can go back to why you don't want him to say church is boring, because
It's their mirror, though.
Is church boring?
So see, that what I just say. It's their mirror.
Is
Don't
church-
nobody like their mirror getting put in their face.
And then it's that, like we talked about, it goes into the
what it is.
the vein of embarrassment, and it goes into all of these types of things. And then with children, a lot of their statements are questions. They just
Basically,
pose in a
'cause they
different
don't know.
opportunities to
They gonna get
teach
your ass
in
too,
that
boy.
moment. You know what I mean? This is boring. Well, what like let's get into it. But that's a cultural piece too of children not being seen as humans, and children not being seen as valuable
yeah.
contributing members to families and societies, and just pieces of people. Children have the messages. Children are willing to say and do the things that we have been have grown out of or been convinced out of. You know what I'm saying? So we have to recognize that too, that a lot of times what we are experiencing as adults, that's our inner child. You're two people.
Absolutely.
You're not just one person. You is two people.
Yep.
You, and then you. You know what I'm saying? And so it just really depends on how you start working with yourself. The you that when you were free and able to be free, hopefully for as long as you could. Black kids don't get to be kids for a long time.
Yeah, you're right.
A lot of our adult lives are spent unlearning more than learning, depending on how you want to experience the world. You unlearning so many things as an adult.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Right now, I think in black people in America right now unlearning a lot of stuff, and just like what we were just speaking about of people getting offended, I think that's also some Americanized shit too.
Of course.
Yeah, Western culture
look
has
at
a
some
lot
African
of
shit on TV.
Come on now.
But they'll say exactly what your ass is
Man,
like. They really will hurt you.
yes.
Come on now.
And
Yes.
but see, they remind you
That's
of
why
like.
she called the motherland.
It made me think about. It made me think about
Boy,
one of my friends.
Words, bro.
One of my friends back in the day, I remember his little sister and my other friend. She said, "Oh, why your face so bumpy?" It fucked him up. We all laughed. But then I thought about it. If we was in Africa, it really wouldn't even fuck with him like that. Because that's just how they talk.
They
to
talk. They want to know.
And
They
it's
just
not,
say that shit.
and
They don't get embarrassed. I guess they get embarrassed real good. They don't even
You
take that
show
shit.
right.
Like
They show say what the.
they say it.
They
My
say what the hell they want.
My youngest son is 6. His name is 7. Shout out to 7.
That's
You know
crazy.
Wow.
He's 6 now. Well, his name's 7. You done met him. And we were
that.
in,
Your boy.
yeah, and because one of my boys cosplayed you as the weatherman.
Yup.
Oh.
Yup.
I'm telling you,
Nah,
we a real
this time,
culture house.
I remember that.
We a real
Not
culture
chilly.
house.
I got the
Yeah.
video and I was
Chili
like,
done
I was
dealing.
like, that's what he said. That's how I knew. I was like, I be like that. He dressed way better than when I
Yeah.
knew. And then we said at the end, I was like,
It's
that's
not
what I
a-
get. Because
yeah.
he might have had some glasses on there.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, but we went to Waffle House a couple of weeks ago, and my youngest son, typically your youngest child may get the best best version of you as a parent, because your children are coming to you from where you are. You know what I mean? So my youngest son, it could be seen, they all free, but he could be seen as the freest one because by now I've gotten through my own stuff and can just parent him, right? So we were at Waffle House and the man that was serving us, he had some discoloration in his skin.
Damn.
Right?
Boy, he did it.
He had discoloration in his skin, and that's no disrespect because I'm gonna give the context to it, so no disrespect. I'm just saying it so you could track with me on the story.
Right.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so he had some discoloration, noticeable discoloration on his skin, and my youngest son finally asked, he's like, "What's going on with your skin?" You know,
That's a
little bit better than what I think some other kids would have said.
But yeah, he's just
still
like
articulate.
Yes, he's like,
Listen,
what's going on with your skin? It's so many different colors. You're this color here. This how my son. You know my sons. If y'all know my sons,
yeah, I know them.
Y'all know they can speak like this.
They
He's like,
he's
like, is this color
it's
here?
like 3
Is
little
this
news
color
men.
here? And he not being offensive enough. He's just a child, and he raised in an environment where you would only take offense if you might be offended. You know what I mean? You might
I already feel.
But in that moment, as a parent, now his brothers, because they're older and have been socialized by the world around them, are naturally immediately. Now they don't get this from me, but we got family. They get this from, hey, shut up, you ain't supposed to.
Yeah.
And 7 is like, but he got colors on his skin. You know what I mean? And so me as a parent in that moment, it's like, let me just operate in truth, right?
Yeah.
So in my mind, internally, I'm knowing he just asking a question. He just trying.
he
But
wanna know.
also, I know that this person deals with this. I understand, and then also I'm knowing his brothers are like this. So I have to see every moment as an opportunity
You
to
peeping
teach
it.
and to bring peace, to teach and bring peace. So because of the energy that we already have, the man just says to 7, well, I have a condition called vitiligo, and it's such and such, such and such, such and such. And he let 7 touch him, ask him all these different colors. All these different questions, and 7 ended up just saying to him, well, that's a pretty kind of caramel right here. It's like he was really just trying to, he was not trying he was just trying to figure it out
because he liked the way it.
because he liked the way it looked. He just wanted to understand it and know it. So once he got past his questions, everything 7 said was so beautiful and poetic that I was just like, oh, okay, well, it seemed like y'all figured it out. But I had to say, hey, listen, there are ways for us to talk about what we see. And when we see it, we just got to be a little more, we got to think about ourselves and how we want to be interacted with, just a teachable moment versus, man, shut your fucking mouth. And
that's what black people use.
Right.
That's the
you know what I mean?
last 100 years of niggas, right?
Because I had to right then, I had to consider how he might respond and how he might have felt, the man, you know what I mean? How he might have felt and all of those types of things. But I also had to support this new human. So as adults, we have to support the new humans, which will cause us to have to come outside of ourselves.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people don't have the luxury of doing or aren't willing to do. But if you do it, you develop a grace for yourself, because my baby really just wanted to compliment you.
Yeah.
He just started with a question
What's this?
that he didn't have a language for. You know what I'm saying?
And if the baby don't probably ask like that, then as a parent, you probably gotta take a little here, like, you know what, I need to teach a little
I
better
need
how
to,
they.
so it's really just
It ain't
about
on the kids, generally.
circling back to the value of the little selves in us, because you want to know, as an adult, you might want to know, bro, what you got going on with
Yeah, you just
But
ain't saying
you
no
might
whatever
not
because
say
of what you're
nothing.
making, but you really want to know.
But you really might want to know. And him, as the child in him and the adult in him, knowing that he exists in the world.
Yeah,
and
why
Somebody
such a
gonna
being.
laugh.
I know you feel it, bro.
Yeah.
You making it weird.
You know what
just
I'm
go on
saying?
The elephant in the room.
So it's just about.
That's what I say.
That's why I say
I come in on the elephant in the room. Hey, what you
truth.
got going on here, bro?
Yeah, it's truth for me. It's truth that activates, inspires me, that encourages me, challenges me, that holds me together, hold me accountable. Truth. Like, it's the truth of everything.
So that moment could slip in some poetry.
It's already probably in there.
With your son.
Absolute. My children, they definitely in these poems now, y'all.
Man.
My son wrote a poem. He said, Mom is so beautiful, Everything she does is beautiful. She even whoops us beautiful.
Damn. He went hard at that last part.
That's the truth, though.
Who ass he saw getting whooped? And he was like,
That's a beautiful ass whooping.
And I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna send y'all a screenshot. I'm gonna show y'all a screenshot.
That's a beautiful ass whooping.
Oh my God, that was.
He said, "Mom," and so I saved that poem so I can, cause nobody would believe this kind of stuff. But I saved it. He said, "Everything Mom does is beautiful. She's so beautiful." He said, "She even whoops us beautiful."
I done seen some beautiful ass whoopers too. They was right at Murray High School. I done seen some beautiful ass whooping at little kids. Nigga get them hands put on them. Roy Jones did. I seen some beautiful ass whoopers.
I can't even be mad at this. Like I can't even be mad at this.
I never thought about that.
He is deep. And if he want to take that poem to school or write that at school,
I want to write a book of beautiful ass whoopings.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't never think that could happen. I like that.
You gotta give him credit on that.
I do. I'm gonna send y'all a screenshot of that poem.
That was a bar.
Who is this poet?
That's Mega. That's the weatherman.
Nah, I just was saying so everybody can know who is this poet.
That's my middle son. So my youngest son, his name is 7. My middle son, his name is Mega, Mega. And then my oldest son, his name is Titan, Titan.
Wow.
And I thought about
shout out, fellas.
Yeah, shout out to my boys.
On that shit all the time.
I thought about God gave
citation.
me their names. God gave me their names, and I was obedient. But I thought about where I'm so into words, right? I thought that when people see their names, I want them to want to know who is this. Who in here is who is Titan?
You
Raise your hand if your name is Titan.
Your mama named you Titan.
You know what I'm saying? And then also I thought about when they become grandparents, how my great grandchildren will be like my grandpa Titan, my grandpa Mega, my grandpa 7.
It do sound like the Osiris.
Yeah. And then even with my 7th son, I knew his name was 7, but people did not trust me. So when he was born, he was 7 pounds 7 ounces.
So you had no choice.
Well, I wasn't. I knew.
You already knew beforehand. The story went with it.
But very intentional. I mean, God will back you up because really you're just doing what God already designed for you to do. And when you do it, it'll happen for you. So my oldest son, Titan, when you meet him, everything about him.
He finna approach you like around me. Look at his head. He finna approach you like
everything about you.
My name is Titan.
Everything. And also, I wanted to give them as much opportunity, as much for them to be able to carry these things about themselves already in the world is a gift that I can give them. Hey, your name is Titan. That means if nothing else, you got something that can't nobody take. Yes. People gonna be expecting something from you. So you gotta expect this from yourself. When you get down, your name Titan.
My name Titan.
However you move in this world, your name is Titan.
That's what's up.
With Mega.
It's big. It's huge. I like that.
Mega. And then, Titan Asa was a great king in the Bible. He was a healer king. And then Mega's middle name is Eli, which is also out of the Bible. And then 7's middle name is Ray. Now, don't y'all go try to open no energy account in their names, because I done told you your first and middle name. But yeah, just being very intentional. We gotta be intentional though. We gotta be intentional with our words, especially when it comes to our children, because this is what I can give you. If I can't give you nothing else, I can give you a grace. And I can give you an opportunity, and I can give you a light that you can carry. You know what I'm saying? And every day they show me why their names is Titan, Mega, and 7. The way they eat them groceries.
Ooh, I can
show
you got
me
3 boys. Oh, Amanda,
Come on, my Cash App in my bio.
Yeah.
But they show me every day who they are, and I'm just grateful for that. That's a great opportunity for me to give back. So yeah.
So speaking of being intentional with words, intentful with words, I think it's a little submergence of poets in this area.
Absolutely.
What was it poetry here like that when you came back?
You know what? That's a great question. By the time this interview airs, I will have had the amazing opportunity to, for the first time, I guess we'll call it headline, my own show. right here in Jackson in a full circle moment tomorrow night. I will be at a place called Soleil Coffee,
Okay.
which
yeah.
is which is owned and operated by a brilliant cultural worker, musician, human being named Ezra Brown,
Okay.
who back in the day when I came up doing poetry in the 2000s, he owned and operated a place called 7 Studios, which
I
was
remember
the
that. It was
hub.
freestyle up there
It was the
sometime.
hub for culture. It was
Yeah.
nothing like that.
Yeah, I went to 7 Studio.
Okay, it was nothing like that back then, and he was really integral into already creating an environment that I would be able to recognize when I moved to Chicago and when I started moving around the world and interacting with different artists. So I just said that to say tomorrow night I will be in his space, a space that he has created and cultivated, as he brings back that or as he contributes to the resurgence of the era, the renaissance of art and culture taking its rightful place in Jackson.
It's more than a few poets.
And
Yes.
I will be able to do that under the 7 house, which is when 7 was going on. I was the youngest there. I was the youngest poet and artist there creating. And so tomorrow night I'll get to this will be my first. I'm a master collaborator, so I'm always with other folks
Right,
doing other folks' things.
right.
I'm a master collaborator, but when I go out of town, I do my own thing. But this will be the first time at home that I'm doing my show, like me. I done picked this is my show.
So what's that look
It's
like?
tomorrow. It's gonna be amazing because it's this, but it's with my poems and it's with a band. I get to play with a live band.
Speaking of which,
Uh-huh.
I've been looking at, is this where you're going to be with the orchestra?
Okay. No, I don't have the
Orchestra?
orchestra tomorrow. Yes, I done played with the orchestra several
Yes.
times now. I play with the orchestra sometimes.
Yes, the Mississippi Orchestra, dog.
Yes, I do.
That's what I'm saying. When I saw it, I was like, wait a minute.
This is not
Good
the
research. I
orchestra.
ain't know
Yes,
that.
this is not the orchestra. This is a band. This is gonna be a house band. So, but the musicians in Jackson are brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yes.
And I have
We
wanted to
not
be in a
lacking
band
on
and
no
play in a
musicians.
band for a long time.
We're not lacking on nothing.
So tomorrow night, I got from 7 to 9, and I'm using every single minute to really just give flowers to the city for how it's raised me in the culture, in collaboration with folks, and in the ways that I've been able to show up in the world and say I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. So to answer your question, which was what'd you ask me?
It was
Orchestra.
Yours was about the orchestra.
Yeah,
What's
mine
your
was,
question?
yeah.
We'll
But,
get back to what was your question?
yeah, well,
It was about was it poets in Mississippi?
Oh yeah, so
With Jackson,
okay,
like that
so
when you started, and you might want to shout out some. that's
yes,
here now,
absolutely.
or
So
whatever.
when I came onto the spoken word poetry scene, I started at 7 Studios, but I was under, back in the day, we had to do a senior project, like an advanced seminar project, and you had to pick like what your career path would be. And I picked art, poetry. I said I was gonna be a poet.
You
Now,
knew.
I
I don't even know
didn't
what
know
I
a
wrote back
pathway
then.
for it, but
Me
I
neither.
knew
Well, I
that
did
at
know
the
it.
time that
And
I
I
was
was
doing
camping.
poetry and I loved it and I wanted to do it. So in my senior seminar project, I had to design like what that would look like, which meant that I had to find a mentor and I had to produce an event. So I had to produce an open mic and I had to find a mentor. So y'all know I was telling y'all I grew up in a real strict blah, 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 blah. But women have had to forge their way into certain spaces. So there weren't a lot of females that I had access to. I had a male mentor and then eventually got a female mentor. But Herbert Brown, he was my first poetry mentor. He calls himself Blue Satch. Now he DJs. This is Fifth Child's big brother.
I know,
Herbert
okay,
Brown.
yeah, I know.
He was with
And I
Bob
know
Moses
Phil.
in the
Shout out to
Algebra
Phil. Shout
Project.
out to
Oh, because I'm an 833 West Maple Street graduate.
I ain't
I
see
come
okay, I
out
ain't see that
of-
on you.
she had
They
to
be gang bang. That's the only high school
I
gang.
get their own gang sign.
Okay,
Shout
but
out to
listen
Lanier.
though,
Shout
shout
out
out
to
to
Lanier.
833 West Maple Street. Now I was ninth grade president at Murrah too, so I got Murrah Lanier. I got
Well,
Murrah
thank you.
Lanier,
Oh,
but I
okay.
graduated
I
833
just
West
like
Maple
the
Street.
culture. I ain't gonna.
Okay.
So
So I said that to say, her mentored me and then introduced me to these two phenomenal. Now these are my real mentors. These phenomenal artists, my brother and my sister, 730 and Marcus Phillips. Well, 730 is Marcus Phillips, but his stage name is 730. He's a phenomenal MC. Y'all got to look him up. You wouldn't heard him. You just ain't click with you.
Okay.
And then Tori Phillips, his wife, they were visual artists and musicians and poets, and they took me in and read my poetry and said, hey, you have some real gifts here. Roll with us, rock with us. And they took me to 7 Studios where I met artists like Lorenzo Gaden, who's a visual artist and a musician. His wife, Aqua Baby, rest in peace. Oh, shout out to Helena, who was Herb's wife at the time. We had Dr. Nathan Harper, Urban Raw. He called himself back in the day. Shout out to him. We had. I'm just thinking about people who raised me.
Yeah,
in the art
that's
and
what I want to
culture.
hear. I want you to. You hear? I want to hear the culture, what you came through. Them
We
people,
had,
at least the names.
C. Lee McInnes, the biggest dog, the biggest.
All
roof,
these
roof.
people was right over there.
All these people were This was the poetry scene.
Here.
Now, yes,
What was the year?
Jackson this is 2005, 2006 for
So
me.
I know we was going there freestyle.
So
Right.
and see, they were
2000,
already
I
doing
met,
this before
Skip.
I came to. So Skip was there. This is before
Skip
I was
Cole.
old enough to come on the scene. But Skip Coon, he was there. Mariam, well, she was. I wasn't there while she was there. I
Shout out
moved
to
away.
Mariam.
But
So she was already doing poetry then.
Well, see, she wasn't there when I was there. She was probably doing poetry wherever she was. And then I moved out of town. When I came back in town, she was there. That's how I met her when she was there when I came out. But I left Jackson in 2007. Okay. I went to the Navy after high school, and I went to Chicago. So I came of age in Chicago doing my art and culture. So I was with Dead Prez, Talib Kweli.
Damn, okay.
Was
That's what I meant to say. The real dead friend.
Yes,
the real dead
I was-
No disrespect.
No.
disrespect.
You see,
Queen.
when she said
Yeah.
Talib Kweli, that let me know
Oh, yeah, that's the real
Yes,
deal.
Right.
I was a secretary for Chairman Fred Hampton Jr.
Yeah, you got the
Yeah, you got the
got
credentials,
the-
Amanda. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
the Marco.
Damn.
Talk
You know, I
talk
told
your
you I was with
shit.
the
Marco, what you-
comedians. I really
You got
came
tap
tap dancers.
Shit like that.
I
Shit
came.
like that.
Still got shit like that.
So I was really coming of age. Malik Youssef. I wrote some things for Good Music. I worked with Common. I have done my.
Amanda, yeah,
So
listen,
you
we
wrote
need
some
to.
things
Hey,
for
shout
good.
out to you,
Yes,
though.
I wrote
Yeah.
there's a whole project called Good Morning, Good Night by Malik Youssef. It might still
Hold
be
on,
on
let's-
YouTube. You know, sometimes back in the day, people would take stuff down.
Yeah,
So
they will.
you wrote music or poem?
Yes, I wrote I write poetry, and they turn. See, Jay Ivy mentored me when I was in Chicago. K Love mentored me. So I was writing, also performing, but you know, poetry can be done over music, so it may sound like a song, but it's
Sound like
really
you
a
rapping a little
poem.
taste.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
definitely got
That's what I
bars.
wanted to.
Thank you.
That's what I wanted to ask too. Do y'all? I feel like most poetry people are the best rappers.
Thank you.
I've
You know
Kinda
what I'm
though.
saying? Yeah, like
But
If you
you know
really,
what?
especially if you're in the lyrics, if you in the lyrics,
like
they
The
up
truth
there.
is,
They
though,
up there.
that the best rappers are poets.
type shit.
Mm-hmm.
Pac for sure.
That's the
That's some
truth.
yeah, for
poetry.
sure. That's my favorite rapper.
Yeah,
right
the best rappers. For,
I can see
I would
K-Dot
say
being
that
a
They
the-
can
poet.
write poetry.
I
The
can see
best
Kendrick being on
rappers
some. I can
are
see him
poets.
being. Doing all that.
Absolutely. So, you know, it's really just about your perspective.
You should come on my show then.
Would you do
I
an
would love
album?
to come on your show.
Let me say this,
Yes,
man.
I
We
would love
rebranded
to.
anyway called Bars to Blow.
We throwing a lot of
Okay.
little stuff at you.
So,
I would
yeah.
love to. Thank you. Yes, I would
That's
love to.
gonna
'cause
be
you
We
dope.
would
done
love to hear
I
Look
that
at
know
man
too.
on
you
Bars
see
to
me in
Blow.
the see me in the comments with the
Yeah.
fire emojis like
Yeah.
yeah, they be going.
Yeah, we would.
Oh,
That would be
Yeah.
nice to see you on
It's
that,
a new
Amanda.
season.
I-
You got to get on it.
You got
I
to.
would
We
love
want
it.
that.
Thank you.
Y'all heard it here. Amanda Furdge will
Y'all
be
coming.
on Bars to Blow.
So, is there an album in the
game,
works,
coach.
Amanda?
Yes, I have so many. You know what? Speaking of albums and projects, I have a song. I have the first single off of the short film that Nardo is in. Shout out to Southside.
And shout out, what's the name of that film? We can go and tell them.
Side.
Hopefully we can get the cast here, man.
Yes.
I didn't think about it right, but I wanted you here, and I would love everybody.
Absolutely.
I would love everybody to get their flowers individually.
Yes, indeed.
Speaking of which, what's the name of that?
Absolutely. The name of that project is called Flower. But before I do Flower, let me go back to the poetry scene. Shout out to all of those incredible artists that raised me on the poetry scene, because it helped me become who I am. And I just said that to say tomorrow is a full circle moment, because I get to come back to the city and say, hey, look at what y'all did. Look at what we have done together. Like, look at how it goes. So shout out to everybody that raised me, because, you know, sometimes people wonder where they stand with you because of how things may have gone. But for me, it's all love. It's always love.
They should know that. They should know that.
Nothing but love and respect and flowers out of my mouth for every single person. I do the poetry to make sure people know that this is who we are and this is what we got going on. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to that. But fast forward, Southside. This brilliant creative on Southside, Kansas Gray, wrote an incredible children's book called Pee-wee NBA Dreams, and he had this idea.
Y'all go get that.
Yes, absolutely.
You hear about it, find out. You can find out. You're gonna have Amanda handle. DM her, get at her.
Yes, find out. He had this brilliant idea to turn it into a film, and he tapped in with his partner collaborator, this beautiful, brilliant poet, Coke Boomaye. Okay, because the best. Poet.
Yeah, for sure.
Nah,
but it, hey,
he that one.
Nah, gray hair bear.
Right.
Hey, nah, shout out to them boys for what they do in the city and really just how they communicate with people.
Yes.
I just told y'all before the show, bro, drop in and give me jewels about shit that I'm doing. I don't know nobody who call you and be like, I got this cold shit. Be like, what were you doing? Oh, nah, this ain't for me. It's for you. It's for you. Who do that, right? So shout out to them, bro.
Yes, shout out to them. So, you know, just being in community with them all of these times and listening to them dream and think out loud. I heard them talking about wanting to turn the book into a film, and the writer in me, collaborator in me is like, let's do a script and let's make it work and let's do auditions and let's cast it and let's do all these things. So Kansas, Coke, Dre, Amanda Osborne on the aesthetic and fashion all come together to see through the casting of Nardo.
I can't wait till it comes out.
Merc, Flower, Tricky, Portia. Shout out to Portia.
This a hell of a case.
Shout out to Portia C with the P looks.
We buckle
Flowers,
down
the
and put
florist.
something together on the low.
Betty, Kayla Renee, absolute. She's our flower. Shout out to Kayla Renee. She's our flower. Adam Tolliver, who is the
real young actor. Y'all probably gonna see him doing. So he do a lot, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
He just got like he made good grades. He's
Mr.
Amazing. Jim Hill, I think.
Yeah,
he was.
he's at Howard now.
Yeah,
he's at
I believe
Howard.
He might
have
already finished a year or something.
Yes,
like
he established.
From Jackson, Mississippi. Jim Hill.
Man,
I think it's Jim Hill. Ain't it Jim Hill?
That's what I'm saying.
We produced.
Yeah,
him.
he was Mr. Jim Hill.
Yeah,
he sure was. Absolutely. But so to say,
I was in another film with him that was naturally produced, supposed to have Leon and Tay Diggs in it if they finish their project.
Finish it.
So God willing, they finished that. But yeah, we in that film.
He killed
me. Cut that out. No spoilers.
Oh well, you know what I'm saying. But so they had the idea and allowed me to collaborate, and so the film is Flower, and it is a take on Pee-wee's NBA Dreams, and we've been working on the soundtrack for it. And I said all of that to say the single out now is called Hibiscus Flower, and
you on there,
that's me.
That's
all me, yeah.
That's on the soundtrack.
It's all me. Well, that's the first single off of the soundtrack. Now the soundtrack
let's
has.
see here. Hold on.
Yeah, pull it up. So I'm very proud of it.
Hibiscus Flower.
Yes, the soundtrack has various artists on it. Tricky's on there. Coke's on there. Vitamin C's on there.
Oh shit.
CeeLou, y'all might know him as Coach Charles. Shout out to the Development Academy.
So the soundtrack is out already?
No, the soundtrack is coming, but the first single is out.
Okay.
Which is Hibiscus Flower, which is me.
Okay.
Shout out to Slim, Air Slim.
One of the greatest engineers.
Slim, because he engineered this record for me. I went in there with a song that I liked and said, I want to do this. And we did it on one take, and I was able to do everything I wanted to do.
Good shit.
And I think it's a beautiful record.
Good shit.
I really
think it's beautiful.
I can't wait to hear it.
I really think it's beautiful. So just to speak to what I'm working on is, I'm always collaborating, but in the background working on my own collaboration. So I'm trying to get this book out, a new book of poems out, and then of course a spoken word album project.
You're doing a lot.
Some visual things.
seen you though.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's dope.
It ain't hard when it's right there with what you want to do.
I got children to show. Not children to feed. I got children to show. I got to show them. You know what I'm saying? I got to show them. And so that's important for me because that's why I got to do it. I have to do it. So they can know all them times mom was away from the house. This is what she was doing. All them people that we love and consider our family. This is what it's for. And then it gives them the energy to be themselves at a time where everybody want to be somebody else. So yeah, hibiscus flower is so special.
I'm trying to pull it up. Let me see here.
Pull it up. It's beautiful.
I'm
I love it.
It ain't really good.
And that's really a reflection of what I'm gonna do in my show tomorrow.
I'm on
You
Spotify.
see it? It's on Bandcamp. Here.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, it's already connected to that.
Yeah, pull it up. And we are so proud of this song. You ain't heard it yet? You probably ain't clicked it yet.
But I ain't really heard it.
Yeah, it's amazing. Here you go, right here.
Boy, I ain't even connected on it.
That's all right.
This is the first time turning on shit.
Man, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, well, nah, man, I was going to hear this and then give her flowers.
What else did you want to know? What else can I answer for the people who want to just know who I am and what I got going on? What y'all want to know? What y'all want to know? Because people be wanting to know. And what else you think people want to know?
I asked what I got. What you got?
You got something you want to?
Nah, for real. My thing is, are you working on like an album yourself?
That's this.
Yes.
That was
I do want to. Now this is adjacent to Flower, the short film.
So I thought it was just.
This was inspired you to say I'm gonna do an album.
Well, no, I was already in that mode, but this let me know that I'm ready. Doing this told me, oh, you ready? Like whenever you get ready to do yours,
do your thing.
One take.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so it's a rap album.
You gonna have to. It'll be. It's hard to say
because
poet, you know what I'm saying?
So but
really you can help me with that. You can help me with that because the genre is there for spoken word. They are giving out Grammys for spoken word.
Right,
I do have one of my homeboys is president of the Chicago Grammy chapter, and he heard this and he was like, "What we doing?" So you know what I'm saying. But I'm rooted in hip hop. My brother, shout out to my brother Matthew Furdge, got Coke 601. He's a producer. He produced Bees in the Trap. He produced Coke in his early days of rapping. My brother is a super producer.
Right.
And so I really want to work on a project. Yeah, the Nicki Minaj song, Bees in the Trap. It's my brother's Grammy nominated.
That's why I asked you again. Yeah. Like, hold up, y'all, these niggas ain't say shit. I'm like,
my brother Matthew Furdge. Y'all just be saying stuff because for me it's just
y'all ain't say shit. I was like, nigga, hold up, what?
Yeah, my brother's Grammy nominated music producer Matthew Furdge.
Wow. That's what people need to understand.
And I want to work on a project with my brother called Mrs. Siblings.
That's dope.
I like that.
Thank
you.
She
good with the words.
Yeah,
like
I can do the words. So I want him to do all the production and I do. But my brother started off rapping, beating pencils. That's actually how me and my brother, he would be in the cafeteria beating on tables and he would rap crazy. And then he would say, my little sister, she can come on with my little sister. My little sister can do it too.
And you a rap too?
So I come from just being up under my brother, like, what you doing? Let me hear that.
We got a Bars to Blow album coming soon. I'll get a record on that.
Yes, I would love to. Yeah. Oh, my features. Y'all check me out. I got so many features. Oh, matter of fact, Ariel J. Y'all familiar with Ariel J?
Heard of.
She's gonna come out in March with her EP. She has 3 features on there. One of them is Akeem Ali.
My dog. That's my dog.
One of them is
okay.
me.
All right.
She not playing no game.
One of them is me, and then one of them is somebody else. I don't know if I know them personally, but I did want to shout out Ariel J. I'm with
spitters. I like them.
Tony the Spaceman. I have a feature with him. I'm featured with Young Jules.
You
have a feature with Brandon Howard. Y'all call him Dollar Black.
Shit.
I got features.
We call him nephew.
Charles Palmer, Thanksgiving, of
Yeah,
course.
Lethal.
Features with Jody Boy.
Lethal.
Jody. I'm featured on. Oh my gosh, I'm a feature girl. I told y'all I'm a master collaborator. That's just a few. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I actually want to do an album of just features. Just put out the features.
Goddamn,
and I'm
that's gonna be
so
hard,
grateful.
That'll be super hard.
I'm
But
so
I mean,
grateful.
that rap ain't in your genre, so it's like you do that right there. First of all, hip hop gonna bring eyes to what you're doing, and you'll be on there, and they're gonna be like, "Who the fuck is that?"
I'm so
Remind
grateful
you of
for
dude
people to
used to be
trust
on,
me
like,
with their art
Outkast
like
shit.
that.
You talking about Big Rude?
That's who it is.
Big Rude. Big Rude.
I
used to
didn't
do
know
all
the name, but
porn.
shout out to him.
Yeah, Big
Oh,
Rude.
yeah, they used to
Big
do
Rude
the-
used to
He used to be
all
on a
the
lot of
porn for
shit.
Outkast.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know
yeah.
him personally. You know. So,
Okay. But
that's my
yeah,
dog.
I just want to shout out all the artists who trust me to come into their creative space and say, hey, I just want you to, do your thing. And then they take it there. And that's such an honor for me. That's a big, big honor for me. So I love to collaborate. I love to get with the big dogs and the greats and say, you want me to do, okay, what I give you my best.
I'm just finna come with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because listen, my favorite little poem that you did was on the Thanksgiving when you say the little cousin about to take that walk.
Welcome home.
But look,
I
when I
know
listened
it's
to it, I was
been
like,
too
man,
long.
she talking that real
Yeah.
talk
I
now.
know yeah. I just speak from
She
my
jumped on
heart.
the mic like that lady that's on Warriors. You remember that?
Shout out to Charles
The
Palmer
Warriors are coming
because
through.
they had already done. They were working on that project, and I think he said, "I need something. Who give me?" I think they were. First, they were like, we need a singer. And then I think Charles was like, no, we need a poet. And then all the guys, shout out to all the guys, Hollywood Look. Shout out to Hollywood Look.
But we
Shout
got
out
some
to
hell
Tricky.
of
Shout
vibes.
out
man.
to
Man,
For sure.
yeah, that's,
D.O.N.O. Vegas.
that
Shout
album
out to
had the
Yes.
guys.
all of them.
Yes.
I'm talking about all the way down to Bob Street. He had him on.
Bob
man, like you said.
Street,
Yeah, Bob Street, that
and he
dog.
said, he sent me the track. He said, hey, I got this track, and I wrote it right then. And
Right
when I
then.
sent it to him, he said, it sound like you been with us the whole time. And I didn't even have no consciousness.
it goes
of the program.
so perfect
He said,
with it,
it
man.
sound like you been with us the whole time.
It's that vibe though.
And that's how, and it became L.A. A-Room. It's the first track on the album. And then I thank you at the end.
Oh yeah,
So-
see that? All that go. It's
So
just
very,
perfect with
very
it.
with that.
divine. Very divine.
All
It's
that go
like-
perfect
Fuck
with
with
it.
that.
Yeah, that's powerful. But that's, truth. I'm operating truth. I'm operating love, and that's what we gonna do. Did you find Hot Biscuits?
I
Because
did,
I'm
Nicole,
proud
but
of it.
I went on your
I sent
page.
it to Nardo. Did you? It's in the
I
link.
got it on my phone. But
I went on the page,
he
but
on the
it,
Bluetooth.
yeah, I got it on the page, but it didn't. It just showed on your.
It's on YouTube.
Well,
Let me see.
We
You
was
should've
trying to
sent it to
play
him,
it, but
Nardo.
We gonna play that
Yeah, y'all
motherfucker.
play it. It's beautiful. It's brilliant. And then my favorite thing about it is that Kansas loves it so much, and I love
This
that.
app-
Like
hey,
I
look,
love
listen.
that.
So, there's something you might not know.
Tell me.
They helped me with my special, my comedy
That's
special.
right. That's right. That's
They gave me
right.
an idea for it, helped me put together everything on it.
Man.
That ain't where it stopped though, cause like after I put it out, a lot of the people who I was hearing who was saying my shit was right coming up
Was
there right
coming
from the
up
barber
there.
shop.
See,
So
shout out
them
to
for that right
those
there.
beautiful
We-
guys.
Let me go on here and give you your flowers. We
Thank
kinda
you.
running over. We could do this all day because
Yes.
your energy.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
It's on
I
your
wanna
page,
thank
Amanda?
you.
Yep, it's in the link in my bio.
Yeah,
It's not. I think it's on Bandcamp.
Oh.
It's
It's
on.
on YouTube. I mean, Instagram. I got you.
Yep.
but I was rapping, gang. I was rapping.
yeah,
it
he
for-
was.
Yeah, I was finna rap.
Oh yeah. Shout out to all the guys in
Wrap it up
Southside
then, wrap
Barbershop
it up.
too. While I'm saying,
I ain't nah, we ain't doing. I ain't doing that rap this shit up. No, it ain't nothing like
Oh,
that.
y'all, love y'all.
No, it ain't nothing like that.
Hold on, hold on.
Cause this is all due respect.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go to her page and do it.
Yeah, I'm proud
Give
of that
up.
because I really did my thing. I really
You
was
still
like,
trying.
let me see what I can
You
do.
still trying?
Yeah. He still.
Y'all
he's-
want that? Y'all ain't tell me.
They gotta hear this
Y'all ain't
shit.
tell me.
My fault.
When you did
They
that
gotta
right
hear
there, I
it.
was like, okay.
Hey, nah, my fault. They gotta hear this
Thank
shit.
y'all,
They gotta
love
hear this
y'all.
shit.
Thank
They
you.
gotta hear this shit.
I was gonna hear it anyway.
Bluetooth.
Yeah,
I got
sure,
it.
sure.
They need to hear this shit.
Yo, thank you.
Y'all get it.
Shout
Okay,
out.
so y'all get a little sample. My bad. I jumped the
I
gun.
can't wait to come on here with Keon. I can't wait.
You gonna do
This
it?
what I really,
It's gonna
you know,
be
people
hard.
see me on big stages. They don't know I like to be at home. That's why
Oh, well,
tomorrow
okay.
is so special for me. I love to be at home.
How you get comfortable on stage like that though? You comfortable up there?
It's
I done been up there
because
with you. You comfortable?
you know what I'm saying. It's because
I be comfortable. That shit. I do it. This shit ain't easy.
expert. Try to Here we go, y'all. Listen.
It's an exclusive, y'all.
Exclusive.
Raised in the sip, this is stamina and brown flesh. Capacity is my gift. You need encouragement, I got it. I keep hope in my heart's pocket. My joy, you can't stop it, cause you don't give it. No shade, God's my only witness, and I'm with it. His kingdom, I'm trying to build it. Move over, Bob, there's a new builder in town. Unless your last name is Moses. At this point, all you can do is hold my crown. Except don't call me queen. I'm strictly here to serve, to make sure God's people get the love they deserve. The hurt's been worth it, but this is real churchin'. Timelessness takes time. 9 months for yours, 9 months for mine. We are all born for the moment that we are in.
She got that third eye float on there.
Man, you got it.
I got 3 different flows on there. It's on bed. It's on the flower band camp right now.
Nah, you know when I know you good? Well, you make me want to rap. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
man.
flow is immortal. Make me
It's
feel
3
like I came
different
to a
flows on
portal.
there, though,
Yeah.
so-
You hear me?
Man, that's it.
Yeah. I see
Yeah,
what
we got.
you doing.
Yeah, we got to keep that playing.
The third eye.
Yeah,
I see what you on.
We got to keep that playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful though, and I'm inspired by my loved ones, the community, the culture. They bring it out of me.
Nah,
And I
but,
love to
but
serve.
you inspired by that. But I know one thing about you that I wanted them to feel, that hopefully everybody out there know.
For sure.
You inspire people.
Yes. Yes. I
You know
told you get that
you know
vibe
you
off.
giving them words like
You
Rocky
give it off,
Balboa.
man.
Like when Rocky running down the street, I go up there and kick ass on stage. It ain't fair yet, so I go by there and we want to thank you for the
Yes.
energy.
Yes.
Give your
That
flowers,
means so much to
flower.
me.
Thank you.
We're
Thank
not gonna
you,
call you
Amanda.
queen. What is it, humble servant? I heard you.
Y'all call me Amanda because my name
Amanda.
means worthy of love.
That's what we
My
gonna call
name
you.
means beloved,
Worthy.
worthy of love. It means
Gotcha.
God's love, worthy of love. So that's why I'm so intentional about saying my name's Amanda, because it took me so long to understand and embrace that. When I was a little black girl growing up, I did not want my name to be Amanda. That's a little white girl name. I wanted some flavor. I wanted some Keisha or some, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I had
Keisha.
to come into consciousness about, and we should
Amanda
all
go all
do
at
that.
it, yeah.
I encourage all of us
Yes.
to find out. So I love to be called Amanda because I know what it means, and it means worthy of love. And so when y'all call me Amanda, that, and then my initials AF, so I'm Amanda as
Come on.
Come on,
yeah,
hey.
worthy as
With
love,
them bars,
worthy
she
of
just
love.
walking bars.
Hey,
Amanda F fuck.
Yeah.
Right.
Worthy of love. Amanda, word of too much love. You see how we
Oh,
coming.
you know what I'm saying?
There it is,
How can
man.
they keep up with you?
Y'all can follow me. I'm the only Amanda Furdge. I'm the only one. If you type Amanda Furdge
You gonna
into
pop up.
Google, I'm the only one. Shout out to my granddaddy who gave me that, who gave me my last name. I'm the only Amanda Furdge. So I'm active, most active on, people hate Twitter, but you know, I just use stuff for what it's meant to do.
Right, for what
But
it
I
is.
tweet my thoughts there. You can catch my thoughts there. I'm active on Instagram. I don't have a Facebook, but you see me collaborating all the time.
Yes.
And really the best way to touch bases with me is out in community. I'm out here loving support. You see me in the grocery store, I'll help you pick your fruit.
I can see
See me
that.
at the playground,
You
I'll push
give
your
that
baby on
vibe,
the swing.
Amanda. I'm telling you, that loving vibe, that inviting
It's that
vibe.
Thank you.
endearing, yeah.
And I
Yeah,
love
endearing,
you.
that's the
and I'm
word.
I
always
had
praying
said
for
enduring
people.
earlier.
Prayer is my specialty. You need some prayer and some love and some faith and some encouragement.
She got it, man.
That is my specialty.
Nah, for
So
real.
I love my city, my Jackson, Mississippi is 601 to the
She
world.
fuck around and leave you a voice memo to
Your
add
deliverance
bro.
gonna get you along.
You know what I'm saying?
The deliverance
thank
gonna get you along.
Thank
No
y'all
doubt.
for having me, for holding space
Yes.
for me, for treating me like the queen.
Thank you for coming.
Thank
That
you.
are. Privilege.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Honor.
I can't
Exactly.
wait.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
bro.
I don't feel
Thank
like
you.
it's that easy to just get you to come to a platform, but it was not hard at all for me.
You
came
know,
right
you better
on.
tell them that now. You better come highly recommended now.
This is my
glad
second
you said
exclusive.
that.
People been
Nah.
saying it.
You got to come
I appreciate
highly
you.
recommended. And if
Highly.
you want me, you really do have to go through the South Side.
Yeah, I believe
You
it.
got to go through the
I
South
have-
Side to get to me.
Yeah.
You really do.
So no, yeah.
You got to go through the South Side.
You heard it. You heard it.
And y'all know
dog.
she a gem and a jewel. One more time, thank you so much.
I
for
love
coming.
y'all.
We blessed
Thank
that you can make it.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
It was better than we
Thank
thought it
you.
was gonna be. Huh?
I love it.
It's been productive procrastinators. I hope you enjoyed the
Yes.
episode. One more time for Amanda Furdge.
Yes.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
I've been Nardo Blacktastic.
Boy, E-Dubb.
We are the productive procrastinators. You hear she got me trying to talk sexy.
Come on,
But you
man.
already
Do your
know.
thing.
If you ain't being productive, you probably procrastinating.
And if your ass ain't procrastinating,
Your ass show hating.
Finger snaps for the
yeah, we'll do it like that. We're gonna end it like that. Yeah.
Make sure you like, share.
And
And subscribe.
Hit that subscribe button. Yeah.
Yeah.